This episode of Android Authority is brought to you by Domain.com. Marshmallow is here, and we can show you how to get it right now. If you happen to own a Nexus device and you've been waiting to get your hands on the most recent version of Android, your wait is finally over. Google has just posted Android 6.0 Marshmallow factory images for all current Nexus devices. Owners of the Nexus 5, Nexus 6, Nexus 7, 2013 edition, the Nexus 9, and Nexus Player can now download and install Android 6.0 on their devices. However, installing these updates directly from the Google developer website does require a bit of know-how. But my brother Joe Hindi has put together a great walkthrough that should be able to help you if you're new to the manual installation method. If you aren't keen on updating manually, Google should be rolling out Android 6.0 OTA to these Nexus devices very soon. Could OnePlus be delivering a mini? Sorta looks that way. While some of the juicier details were made confidential in the filing, a photo in the FCC filing does reveal a device that looks smaller but similar to the OnePlus 2, complete with a USB Type-C port and dual speakers on the bottom. Beyond that, the only other thing you can see in the image is a rear-facing camera. Unfortunately, that's all we've learned from the filing, but thankfully, the rumor mill can help us fill in the gaps. The next OnePlus handset is rumored to offer a 5-inch display with a MediaTek Helio X10 processor with 2 GB of RAM. Other specs include 13 megapixel rear-facing camera and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera from Sony. And it also includes a 3000 mAh battery and perhaps even NFC technology baked in this time round. One remaining mystery is the phone's name, though a Weibo post from the CEO Pete Lau might give us an answer to that as well. Last week, Pete Lau posted an image of what appears to be a running route around his city, but it happens to make the shape of a nearly perfect X. While some might think this has no significance at all, some believe it is a hype-generating tease that could be pointing to the name OnePlus X for the company's next device. Given how OnePlus likes to use social media to generate attention, we're certain it means something, even if it isn't the name of their next phone. And it turns out that Sony has given itself an ultimatum. They have got to start making money. The company has given itself an ultimatum to try and return its mobile business to break even following 2016, before considering the fate of its Xperia brand. We don't know exactly what the alternative option could be, but exiting the smartphone market altogether hasn't been ruled out. CEO Harai has already presided over a number of important cost-cutting measures, including the decision to axe the struggling PC business at Sony. We will continue with the business as long as we are on track with the scenario of breaking even next year onwards. Otherwise, we haven't eliminated the consideration of alternative options. But it hasn't all been bad news for Sony. Their smartphone cameras are selling like hotcakes. Sony's RS image sensors have proven wildly popular in the smartphone market. But some of the company's other divisions, I'm looking at you mobile, have not proven to be so successful over the past couple years. In order to promote continued growth in its semiconductor business, Sony has publicly stated that it will split the division off into a separate entity while still retaining full ownership. Sony's RS-based cameras have been featured in a number of high-end smartphones this past year, including the S6 series, the LG G4, and Sony's latest benchmark-topping Xperia Z5. Sony's sensors are also proving popular in the mid-tier market, as companies push towards better camera tech in order to help differentiate themselves from the competition. So as you can see, it was kind of a slow news week, but that didn't stop me from having fun with some of you. This weekend I caught a serious brown trout, monster fish, tasted great, and I celebrated by posting it on Twitter. Within minutes after that, one of you had sent back an edited version of that photo saying, "Seriously, bro?" and at the bottom with a disapproving stare. So in response to that, I'm seriously considering buying SeriouslyBro.com. Now why is that? Because no domain name extension tells your story with the same degree of trust as a .com or .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence. Save 15% on domain names and web hosting when you use our coupon code ANDROID at domain.com checkout. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Thanks for watching, Android Army. My name is Jayce. Love to connect with you right up here on Google Plus or Twitter. And you don't want to forget about my brothers and sister in Android. We're working super hard to be your source for all things Android.